All right, Amy, thanks for being here. It's a pleasure working with you and excited to kick off this search for Westmark and looking forward to spending a few minutes getting to know you and the school and your vision for technology. Let's start with you and your background as an educational leader.
All right. Thank you, Gabe. I have worked in technology pretty much my whole career. Even as a classroom teacher, I brought technology into the school that I was in. I have been a director of technology. I have been the director of curriculum innovation and technology, overseeing IT management, as well as educational technology. Really that in a nutshell is my background.
Yeah, and what I love is the fact that you're now in a leadership role overseeing far more than technology, but it includes tech, and that sort of it's that intersection or that profile of somebody who has a tech background and is now in a chief academic officer role to oversee and have an influence on the program. Talk about how technology and academics for you do go hand in hand, and why you see them as being such an important partnership domains.
Oh yeah, partnership is a great word. They're integral. I mean, the world we live in is technology rich, and our students as well as our teachers are using it. You know, they're all digital natives, if you will. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for using that. We'll see. But they understand technology in a new way. It's part of what they use every single day, and they live it. So we need to rise to their level as educators and as school systems, and embrace the technology, right? We don't want to shut it out. We want to learn how to work with it and have our children, our students work with it. We want to make sure that we're embracing it and guiding them, and that's our job, right? To guide them. And as we look at the way technology and curriculum intersect every single day, technology can enhance our curriculum. It can make it more rich. It can give children access to things. It can help them do things that we as youngsters could never do. They can program and process and compute in ways that just were never before possible. So, there's that element. And especially in a school like Westmark, where, assistive technologies and other tools that are out there can really help our learners capitalize on their strengths and, blossom, shine, and really show their superpowers. So, it's vital in an environment like this and vital in the world that we live in. So we want to make sure that all of our IT systems are supporting the education, and it just couldn't be more important in schools.
That's terrific. Now, speaking of the world we live in, you have been to many parts of the world. Here you are at Westmark, but you have a very interesting trajectory. Talk about how you came to Westmark and maybe a few of the schools that you've been at, both in the U.S. and overseas.
Sure. My, starting was on the East Coast of the United States, and I started in middle school because when I was credentialing, middle school education didn't actually have a credential process. It's either elementary, you could credential up to 6, and then all of a sudden it was single subject, which a lot of middle schools are single subject, but it's a whole different area. So I was really targeted on that adolescent space, and I loved it. And then when I went to the next school that I was at, K-8, and I was a classroom teacher, and I joined forces with a parent who was really interested in technology. And that became a different trajectory for me because I saw, again, technology improving the lives and the learning of the students. So I worked in that for quite a while. I was here in that school for 21 years, evolved into director of technology and part of the senior admin team. And then an opportunity to go abroad happened with an incredible leader at an international school in Germany. So we packed up my family, 3 children, 3 dogs, and a husband, and we moved to Germany so that I could do the role of director of curriculum innovation and technology. And that was a really nice shift and change of trajectory a bit. It really allowed me to focus a lot on curriculum. And again, that bridging of curriculum and technology. in an international setting. We serve 52 different nations, which means a lot of different languages in the school, a lot of different needs, and a lot of different perspectives, people coming from all over the world and, working in this one type of school environment. So at IB school, I don't know if you know what that is, International Baccalaureate, but really an interesting program, very progressive, very developmental, especially at the elementary and middle years levels, or lower school, primary, and then senior school, a whole different thing. And so that gave me a K-12 experience. And I was there for 6 years, and then we decided to come back to LA. And fortunately, I thought I was going to take this sabbatical. It didn't really turn out that way. I ended up consulting 4 schools in the areas of technology and data. And then Westmark came about, and I decided that this could be a really great complement to the different things that I've already been learning. Not to sound cliche, but lifelong learning, it's important. And, life gets stale if I feel it gets stale for me, if I'm just doing the same thing over and over. And I have never done that. And I think technology is a great reason for that, because it's ever changing and the evolution of it is so quick. And Westmark, with the LBLD focus of this school and this community, it's just inspiring. Coming onto this campus, everyone I met was so kind and bright and intelligent and so caring about children and these students as learners and as brilliant human beings. And that brilliance, the difference of Westmark is brilliant, and that's the line. And it really is. Westmark is a very special place. So I'm thrilled to be here. What brought me here was just a whole bunch of luck, but that is opportunity and preparation meeting one another. And I'm just grateful to be here. And I'm really happy about bringing new people in to this environment so that, we can spread that.
Well, let's talk about that and what, the importance of this director level role that will be overseeing IT and information services. Talk about, as and I recognize you're just beginning your journey at Westmark. So, as you said earlier, it's a wonderful community, but there's a lot to learn and a lot still kind of on the table. But, I would imagine you already can see how technology can and will play an even more important role. So just, if you can, give a little sense of the vision, and also talk about the ed tech partnership that this role is going to play, and the fact that both ed tech and IT information services will all be under your oversight, and thus have such a great kind of interrelated, non-siloed relationship.
Well, I love that term. So yeah, our goal is right now to bring on a new director level position, specifically around IT, information services. This school is like a new school in some ways. I mean, there's so much happening and so many things that are solid. The technology that's in place, it's a one-to-one device school. There is, everything's wireless. It's a brilliant place. But there are areas where we really need to improve or refine. And I think that what we're looking for is a director who can come in, appreciate what's here, and then help us to really grow this program, to continue to make it better and better and better. And better in terms of all of that IT, working with various operational departments as well as educational departments, and someone who's willing to have, just as you said, that crossover with educational technology so that everybody knows what the other's doing, that the decisions are made together, that, ed tech isn't just saying, yeah, we need to do this. And IT says, well, whoa, slow down. We need to make sure that we can do it. We want to be together, that this is a collaborative team of individuals who are working together for, a shared goal of the school. And that shared goal is making sure that our kids and our teachers and all staff are feeling that what we're doing is brilliant, meaningful, purposeful, and easy, right? I mean, that's the interesting part about technology is, people often think it's magic, and it's not magic. It takes a whole lot of knowledge and planning to make it work so that everyone feels it's magic. And so I'm looking for the person who can create that magic by doing that work and helping us to bolster what we want to do, big picture, big program.
Absolutely. And again, as somebody who has overseen this area and knows this area so well, and just imagine someone might be listening to this who hasn't worked in a school, but is sort of curious or has that excitement and wanting to have an impact, but just is not experienced with like actual K-12 school tech administration. Talk about just what it's like in a school to run a technology department, and just some other characteristics or experiences that you think would be most relevant for somebody as they consider a role like this.
Yeah, Gabe, thank you for asking that. I mean, first of all, the first thing that came to my mind when you asked that is quality of life, right? This is so different than corporate environment. Being around children, being around learners, educators, it is an entirely different environment, but it's still a business, right? We still have to keep the wheels turning. We need to make sure that everything is working appropriately, but our bottom line isn't about numbers, it's about humans. And that is a fundamental difference. And that goes not just for the humans that we serve, but for each of us. So within a school community, it's really a community. We really care. And I feel that way, honestly, about any school. I think Westmark's special in that, but I think that's a school environment. So it's really about quality of life. The other thing is that when you and I started talking earlier, we were talking about no job too small. That's also part of it, right? That these school environment tends to be smaller than corporate, especially in departments. We don't necessarily have a massive tech department. We've got people who are willing to roll up their sleeves and help. We're always troubleshooting. We've got, our middle school and upper school directors are constantly doing some tech support for kids who are coming in. I need a new iPad, whatever they need. And everyone will step up and help. And so that idea of it's not my job is not part of our vernacular. It's everybody's job to make sure that everything's getting done. But we have very specific lines that we're looking to make sure are there, but everybody steps up to help. And that's a good thing, because the same goes for, the people in whatever position you're in. There's always someone to help you and support you and to treat you like community.
That's great. Well, on that note, maybe just the last question here. I know it's just been a few days since you've actually started, but you've already had a sense of the community. Tell somebody if who's watching this again, maybe just if you can, one sort of little moment when you knew this was a community that you wanted to join. Maybe it was when you were considering the role you're in now back in the spring, or as you stepped on the grounds of Westmark in your role, just something that said to you, wow, what a magical place. This is the community that, I want to be in, and hopefully somebody else wants to as well.
I think that's a little bit unique. I don't know. What I would say, honestly, and I'm not sure this is the right answer for this interview, but it is the greetings. I mean, honestly, from the moment I arrived on the campus, the first time that I pulled up, people knew who I was. They said hello, they greeted me. And that is as an applicant, right? They were just warm and welcoming. And honestly, our head of school is probably one of the most gracious, kind, generous human beings that I've met. And so she was really a major draw for me. The second time we met was in person, and she was like, "Can I give you a hug?" And that sense of community. So I don't know if that's the best example, but it was right for me. That's what made me feel connected. And since I've been on the campus, there's an amazing interest in one another. Oh, I saw it now, name with a face, and people go to one another's offices. There aren't silos. It feels that people are moving and visiting. It's not all social work is getting done, but that social aspect of building the community by being out and being present is the thing that drew me in. And I think it's something very special about Westmark. And I have yet to see anybody just sitting in their office. Everybody is out and about and willing to come to you. I'll say, "Oh, I can come pick this up." And they're like, "No, I'll bring it to you." It's a beautiful campus in a beautiful part of, Southern California. And the human beings are just as bright as our sunshine.
Well, I think that was a great answer, and there was no right or wrong answer, but I would validate it. I've been to your campus 3 times, and everybody is so gracious. I would call it a very relational environment, and I do think Claudia, your head of school, sets the tone. And people are known, they are seen, they are heard, and they are acknowledged. And I remember walking on the campus. Just everybody was acknowledging others in ways that you just don't see. There isn't that kind of walk by and kind of, and so just that warmth is very special.
I
So
love your language. Thank you.
my pleasure. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you here, and we look forward to working with you. And thanks so much for joining with us, Amy. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, Gabe.